Hello and welcome to Channel Sport on Sunday. I'm Ken Ochonogo. Yes, I'm all smiles, and I know my colleagues also are smiling because when it is good, when it is sweet, what do? You are happy. And when you're happy, you feel with smiles. Are the Super Eagles of Nigeria straight smoothly into the next round. And I tell you this, they are there as group, we've topped the group even before they played the last match because it has to be on head-to-head. We beat Egypt. The only team that can come to 6 points there is the Egyptians. But then when they come there, that is even if we lose, but a point takes us 7 points, all clear, most points, and before we come to head. But then if we lose, which is not even, we're not looking at that, the important is that we have qualified. Eguavoen might decide to test the other players who have not, who have not been starting. So the scenario is, the basic aim is to qualify and qualify to, which we have done now in this particular regard. So that is from Garoa. We will try and get to Garoa, later in the day to get the updates like we've been doing throughout this show. So the Super Eagles are up there. The Egyptians, yes, they came back and then they got that victory. Even if it was controversial, there's been a lot of controversy since we left here last week. The Mali-Tunisia match started and ended and started and ended, and then somebody said, okay, no mass, I'm not coming out again. They're making us some officiating. I wish we could have had referee, Chooks here, Chukwu, but he is not around. But let us, by next week, probably we should have him, and he will throw more light on these things. When do you stop a match? How many minutes are you supposed to play? And then a lot of the issues that have been, coming out of there. So we shall look at that. Probably we should pile all things up, and then when it comes in by next week or the upper week, we can take them and one particular incident to the other. But then coming out from Australia, not too good news for the fans of Novak Djokovic. How do you do that? He is back-to-back champion, defending, 3-time defending champion, 9 times winner, 20 times Grand Slam champion. As at now, with the SAS, the greatest of all tennis players of all time. But then he won't have that privilege of defending that title again. We went on and off the same thing. He was unvaccinated, yes, but nobody up till the last minute. About a week ago, he refused to disclose. His status, whether he has taken the vaccine or not. But then suddenly, there was a window for him to enter into Australia as an exemption. He took that, got the visa, and then tweeted, "Oh, I've been given a medical exemption." And that is where it triggered off. And so did you meet the criteria for getting this? Of course, the Australian government said, no, you did not, and then stopped him at the border and said, you cannot enter. The guy went to court. And the court says, no, you didn't give me enough time to produce the information that you are asking for. So basically, we shall go to somewhere. We shall go to Akure very, very soon and get the details. And so let us know how is it. But the cross of the matter is that Djokovic will not be defending his title. He may be, of course, he will be deported or he will leave voluntarily. And then there is also that possibility that probably in the next 3 years he won't have the right to enter, into the soil of Australia. So look at that. In England, Djokovic issue is in Australia, but in England, Manchester City, they're 13 points clear. They've won 12 in a row. I tell you, they said 9 times coaches have done that. 4 of those times have been done by Pep Guardiola, and so you don't do that in the EPL. You don't dominate in Spain, dominate in Germany, and even on a cold night against Stoke in England, you are also doing it effortlessly. So let's see, probably that is title number 4, loading for Pep Guardiola. And in Nigeria, Heartland, what is happening to the Heartland of Nigeria? The players went to the street. They said, we want our money. We want our salaries to be paid. The LMC did wade in, and management says, give us 2 weeks. We shall get back to you. So the players will be, maybe the management and the government of Imo State have heard your cries. We shall look at that and see how we can avoid that in the future. But if we are ready, I think the best place to start this show before, let me just talk to my guys before we go to Akure. Yemi, how are you?
Good afternoon, Ken. Good afternoon, viewers. Like you said, we're all smiles, all green from left to right because of the performance of the Super Eagles. So far, so good. 6 maximum points from 2 games. And like you said, the last game can be a game where the coach might decide to test the unused players. So for us, I think it's all good for Nigeria. A lot of people didn't expect them to have it this easy. The game against Egypt, as we said last week, was the major test for them, and I loved how they were able to cope in that particular game, defeating the Pharaohs of Egypt, and through that Moses on the left flank. You know, when Egyptians, when they hear the name Moses, it strikes fear into them, and Moses lived up to the to expectation, allowing them Kelechi Iheanacho to give us that vital goal against the Egyptians.
Yeah. Well, good afternoon, Ken. Good afternoon, viewers. The game against Sudan yesterday, impressive. But personally, I felt we could have done more. I believe after that early goal, the boys all but relaxed. But when they saw that Sudan started coming into the game, you could see that they stepped up. So that what that shows is that they're able to change gears even within the game. I was very, very impressed with Coach Eguavoen and the way he has lined his players up so far to take on their opponents at this tournament. A lot of people didn't really give them the opportunity because we have seen the way the Super Eagles have been playing prior to Eguavoen taking over under former manager John Oro, and a lot of people did not expect the Eagles to line up like this and perform like this. But watching them play, seeing them take on the opponents on the pitch, yes, little improvements we can still see improvements moving forward. It's always welcome. But so far, so good. I've been impressed with what I have seen, but I'm just hoping that we can do more because I know that tournament will definitely get tougher as we progress.
You know, Ken mentioned something before the end of last week's show that the Eagles are a tournament team, that they get better with every game. And I'm seeing that, and I'm even expecting to see more of those positives as we progress in the competition.
Okay, if we are ready, gentlemen, probably we'll go straight to Akure and see if we can hook up with our regular Dr. Babatunde Akimbinu. Hello, Dr. T. How are you?
Hello. How are you doing? Good afternoon, guys in the studio, and good afternoon,
Dr. Akimbinu.
Doctor, is it all over for Djokovic?
Well, I think right now, yes, Djokovic definitely has got to go back to Serbia. It is all over for him at the 2022 Australian Open. That's without any debate. But basically, I listened to your summary at the beginning of the program. You more or less said exactly what is played out. Novak's got to go back home right now. I think that he's been a little unfortunate in the middle of all of this. He's been caught in between government and policies and probably some politics. And of course, he's probably the quote-unquote poster boy for everything that is not positive about the fight against COVID right now, which I sincerely do not think that was what Novak set out to achieve in the very first place. Of course, if he did tweet at some point in time that was in Australia when he knew that he had, of course, sometime in 2020 or 2021, had given an interview to show that he was against vaccinations, and probably the whole world knew. There were already sentiments about that. You know, Australia is a country where more than 90% of the eligible population over the age of 16 are already vaccinated. They've got one of the lowest case fatality rates in the world. It's an island country, continent, call it whatever, you know. So if he had tweeted that he was there, of course, there was going to be a lot of sentiment and a lot of uprising about that. So, of course, it's unfortunate as things are played out. Yes, he did have a visa to come in. Yes, he did have as a matter of fact, he had double medical exemptions, you know, from Tennis Australia that organizes the Australian Open on behalf of ITTF, as well as the state of Victoria, where Melbourne is. You know, but of course, federal power has to come in there too. It's about Tennis Australia and the state of Victoria versus the federal, you know, impressions of the government of Australia. Whichever way it's looked at, the Australian people and of course that's what the immigration minister did say by the time the court judgment. The Australian people have made a lot of sacrifice to turn off vaccination and to have that great vaccination rate, you know, and then bring this on because it's the very best in the world. Definitely, especially in an election year, would definitely cause a lot of ruckus, and I'm sure that's what Australia looked to avoid. It's only pretty unfortunate for Novak. I mean, I like to support the underdog. I don't think he really wanted to upset the people of Australia. I don't think so, but well, it is what it is.
Okay, a lot of issues that you have just raised. He has double exemption or whatever, the possibility of getting that twice because he was infected sometime in December, according to them.
Yeah.
And then you also raised the issue of politics here, because right now it's the same court that granted, that quashed that first time when his visa was revoked. It's the same court now that unanimously said, based on further information that we've gotten, I mean, you have to go. But let's look at it this way. Apart from Djokovic, other celebrities have taken advantage of this exemption to enter into Australia. And also tennis players were also given this exemption even before the Djokovic came to. In fact, one of the, I can't recall the lady, and I think she also played in the tournament earlier before they revoked her own visa just because Djokovic. And they also raised, what do I say it? I think Djokovic's influencer, he's influential, that if they allow Djokovic, maybe he might influence others to resist taking.
Absolutely. Okay, 91% of the Australian society, above the age of 16, that's the eligible age, are vaccinated. Do you know what that means? 9 out of 10 people are vaccinated. That is huge. They've got less than 3,000 deaths from COVID in Australia. They've got about less than 26 million citizens. They've got more than 43 million COVID doses, vaccination doses. Their border patrol and their response to this disease is great. Now, Djokovic is the greatest tennis player around as we speak, and you all knew that he was anti-vax. If he tweeted about it, you are only going to incense the people a lot more. The judge, the chief judge today, they didn't read the full judgment. That's going to come in later. The crux, the decision why his visa is revoked now, is on the legality of the immigration minister's decision to quash his visa. And that is right. That is absolutely legal. And that's basically what it is. Of course, that's why I sympathize with Djokovic. A lot of people think that he just refused to get except he tweeted. I don't have that information, but absolutely, he was infected. He had a COVID test done on the 16th of December. He went to a tennis engagement on the 17th of December, where he then got to know he's been infected. That means that he went to an engagement when he was positive. That again is not good for COVID-19 management, whichever way you look at it. People will say, oh, well, he probably isn't respecting COVID protocols. He probably isn't adhering to the best of public health counsel and advices. And then if you let that kind of person come into Australia, he's going to incite the people and is capable of disrupting public peace, because there's still that unitary percentage of Australians that are probably anti-vax at the moment. And that's going to probably give them the energy that the government of Australia doesn't want. Public health is about the good of the generality over the personal opinion or right of one person. So basically, that's what, but I'm sure that if Djokovic had been issued that he could not come to Australia without being vaccinated, if he had not gotten that travel exemption, which he actually got before he arrived in Australia on the 5th of January. He was actually informed the 1st or 2nd of January this year. He arrived on the 5th. His visa was quashed on the 6th, and then he went to court. He won his first case. It tells you that his case is not absolutely rubbish, but whatever it is, he's just been caught in a mixed match as it is that you certainly don't wish anybody gets into as it is,
Okay, Yemi, Yemi have a question for you.
Okay, so Doc, many have viewed Djokovic as a polarizing player. Again, he's been the 3-year ban. Sorry, the deportation comes with a 3-year ban, although it could be waived. What does this portend for brand Djokovic?
Well, one thing is apparent, that the organizers of the Australian Open badly wanted Djokovic to play, certainly. And that's one of the reasons why he got some of the opportunities he got to actually have landed in the first place. I think it was, at the end of the day, Djokovic got caught between Tennis Australia, the state of Victoria, versus the government of Australia in itself. That's where all the arm wrestling took place. You're right, you already mentioned a few other people that, so it's like when Nigeria did not go to play Nana's football at the 1996 African Cup of Nations. Of course, we're banned from the next 2 tournaments. We didn't go to Burkina Faso in '98. We were not supposed to even play in the year 2000. But of course, once the leadership of Nigeria changed, a few things were revoked, a few things were renewed. reviewed. Nigeria not only played, we hosted and got to the final. So let's see how all of these plays out. These are some new information that's coming to bear right now. That it's not like, so all of these things will come to bear. Djokovic is definitely not going to disappear from tennis. He's 34. He probably doesn't have another 10 years at the top, certainly. So all of these things are going to be sorted over time. I haven't mentioned about the Naomi Osaka and the mental health challenge. She had to withdraw from a major open, the Wimbledon, if I'm not mistaken, But of course, so these are challenges, okay? Mental health situation in athletes are real deals. I'm hoping that sometime later in this year, we can actually run a study in Nigeria to look at what it looks like even among Nigerian athletes and all that. That's a real deal. So Naomi was not talking out of the blues, but she had to withdraw at that point in time because, well, the rules are the rules. But with time, you get to look at it and say, how humane is this? How scientific is this? How legal is this? And you look at the political concerns. At the moment, Novak's got to go home, and then we'll see how the future handles it. It's about whether he returns to Australia or not.
All right, Doctor, I think we want to stop it there. Dr. Akinbino, of course, you see him doing this for us in sports. He's a public health practitioner, sport medicine, everything joined together. And we hope that we'll bring you right here in the studio so that to talk public health, not just sports medicine. Thank you very much, Dr. Akinbino.
Thank you.
All right.
Ken, I think it was a statement that triggered a series of events that led to what happened to Djokovic. This is a player that co-founded a new players union not too long ago, and even a lot of the tennis players didn't come out to publicly back him or support him. Quite a number of people. So you are looking at the fact that you've incensed a lot of people in Australia because, like the doctor rightfully said, the bulk of the citizens in Australia that are eligible to collect the jab have all been vaccinated. So coming into a country where they were hit the longest when it comes to the lockdown. Australia was the country that had the longest lockdown in the world, and it affected their way of life, affected everything. And out of the top 100 players in the circuit, Djokovic is among 3 other players that have not been vaccinated. Yes, he has the reputation. Yes, he's easily the most popular tennis figure in the world at the moment because
he's the greatest.
That's debatable. But then again,
it's not debatable. He's the
2020, but you want to look at all of this and say, okay, fine, probably that statement. But then again, he got the exemption. But like the doctor rightfully said, it's more or less like it's a tug of war. I'm wrestling going on, and unfortunately he became.
Okay, let me ask you this. Since we are still on it, we are here now, and we're looking about how this infection, works. They said distance. It's not airborne. It's a droplets. So within a distance, it drops. The tennis player who is coming on court, what's the example to himself? What is the probability of him infecting any other person based on that? Unless he wants to send it to the ball or whatever, because that is only that is going to the racket to whatever is coming.
So Ken, yes. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And that's the point a lot of people have come up with, that, okay, tennis is not a contact sport.
Yes.
Like football, like rugby, where players get to mingle with each other, have contact. But like you just mentioned something which is very vital. You have ball boys and girls in tennis. It's true. And Djokovic is going to be touching a lot of those balls that will be circulating around it. You see, like we said, a lot of Australians are angry at Djokovic at this point. There's a lot of public anger against him. Because Australia have one of the strictest COVID restriction rules in the world. So if the country has said, if you are not vaccinated, don't enter the country. Why? And Doctor alluded to something. I think this whole mess between, the organizers wanted Djokovic badly. So they were willing to...
Was it only Djokovic? Other players were also granted. If it was a Djokovic alone issue, there is a female tennis player
they revoked
after she has played a tournament. You understand it? And that was not even in the state of Victoria who are handling this. There are other tennis tournaments taking place in Australia.
Once you come out on social media and you say you have been granted, it's more or less like a slap in the face. Especially when you know that there's a tug of war going on somewhere. And like the doctor alluded, it's politics. For instance, like you said, in an election year, a couple of things that on a normal day would not happen. You begin to see them happening.
The government is protecting.
What would they be telling their citizens?
What are you telling people? That once you are popular, you are above the rules?
Inadvertently forced to...
The truth is, I've been trying to even get that because I know, I tried because I have the information.
Yeah.
I've had, I've had this. I've been following this, where it has been said that apart from tennis players, a lot of celebrities have been given that exemption to enter Australia.
Yes.
So it is the norm. They didn't write the rule because of Djokovic. The exemption rule has been there that those okay fine, you can also benefit from this. But like you said, which I agree with you, it's like if he has just entered without saying the reason why, making any reason why that provided they will ask the government, it's not the onus will be on the government or the tennis authority to defend. He met certain criteria why he was able to.
And upon further investigation, we discovered that there were some discrepancies in his earlier reports about when he took the jab, when he was
no, he didn't even take the jab. When he tested positive, and did not quarantine.
Exactly,
I was still exposed.
Exactly, he had multiple engagements. Though, although he said in hindsight he shouldn't have done those things, so he basically gave them. He just loaded
that is right. To me, it is fair and square.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
It was the same court
if you read his own statement,
we shall read that statement. I think before the end of this show,
saying that he accepts.
We shall read that statement. I think that statement was screwed now, but we read it out.
That is willing to cooperate with all agencies of government with respect to his living in Australia.
That is his living in Australia. Like we are saying, it was the same court that revoked his visa that earlier on restored that visa when it was earlier revoked. So that was that it is fair and square.
Absolutely.
So I mean, it's not as if anybody is against you. You came in with the first time you came in, they said you didn't have a fair hearing, and then later on they say based on the information we have, you didn't disclose this.
Exactly.
So you have been economical with the truth.
Absolutely.
Maybe if we have had this information before, we wouldn't have. Okay. So let's rest it there. When we open the lines, they will join us. Today we still have a very special guest who will come on the show when he's ready. We join him, and I tell you, it takes us through way back and bring us to the present. But let's see if we can see what is happening at Heartland. At Heartland, that is in the league here. We've been talking about Heartland and Sunshine Stars for a very long time. They have this challenge of trying to meet up the wages of their players. This time, I think there's a new sheriff in town. The LMC is now saying we are going to be firm. And then they wrote to Heartland that we have this complaint against you. Exactly. And then the Heartland players haven't complained a lot, also took to the streets to say, look, you just have to do this for us. All right, we want to go on a very, very short break. When we come back, Channel Sport on Sunday continues. All right, welcome back. It is the Channel Sport on Sunday. And like I said, we have a very special guest in the house. We're going to reach him right there on the line. And when we do, we shall bring him on. It is the AFCON period for us. And then we just have to do that because it is very, very necessary. But before we went on break, we're talking about Heartland. And then we said, the players did complain to the LMC. And this time the LMC said, okay, fine, we've heard your story. And then they wrote to Heartland. And then Heartland did a reply. It was okay, fine, please, we got a letter of 7th of January 2022. Okay. These are the Heartland players on the streets of Owerri asking that their wages be paid. This thing has happened with the Sunshine Stars at that time. We've seen it happen to Academy Warriors. We've seen it happen with even Bayelsa United at the time. So these are the things we're saying, look, we don't like showing these things right here. But let's be fair to the, because when the letter was written to the club responded, that the Heartland Football Club responded and asked for 2 weeks. They asked to give them 14 days, that in 14 days time, they will be able to meet up with the payment. We don't know if they're going to make all the payments by that particular. They're going to meet up with all the payments because from what we are seeing here, they are owing them almost from June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So it is a backlog. It's a backlog of salaries that are there that they are owing these players. Between June and August, in fact, Heartland indebtedness from what they are asking for is about 57 million. That is, for both the players, they are owing the players about 37 million within that period, And then between September to December, they are owing the players another 41 million, which means, the players are being owed about 88 million. That is just for players' salaries alone. And that is for the Heartland players. So I think they are trying to see if they can get the fund. The Heartland has written to the LMC, the league management company, who are the body that has been managing the league, to say, please, we appeal for a grace period of 14 days. A grace period of 14 days so that they can meet up. So that they can meet up with the payment. They can meet up with the payment, this indebtedness. Let's say whether maybe the first part or the second part or all of them. I think the Imo State governor, the government can do something about this, so that the players can give their best. To the team. So, like we are saying, they have said, give us a grace of 14 days. That is what the Heartland Football Club management are asking for the LMC. Yeah.
We've always said it. I don't think he must get to this point before the authorities would actually respond. You cannot be owing people 6-7 months of wages, and you expect them not to complain. These are footballers. These are athletes who need physical strength to be able to perform well. They need to be mentally all right to perform well. And like you said, it's happened to Sunshine, it's happened to El Kanemi some times ago. I love the fact that LMC is coming out now to actually, at least they wrote a letter to Heartland, which the club authority were forced to respond to. And that's what has brought this to the top burner. LMC should be a lot more interested in the players' welfare. It's not just about running these clubs alone, because they are the main actors in this particular league.
The players are the main protagonists.
Yes.
See, Ken, I believe for every one footballer that makes it into any professional team, there are 10,000 other footballers that would have been looking for the same slots. Now, these guys are talented. Obviously, that's why the clubs hired them. They are passionate about playing the game, and that's why they are playing the game, at least many of them in the beginning. But moving forward, they have families to take care of. They have people that are dependent on them. Now, you owe money for 6-7 months. You realize that you literally distorted his way of life for the next couple of months. Because even after they pay this money, I have access to some of these players. Some of them are already owing bills here and there that they have to meet up with. And you don't unsettle people like this. My personal belief is this: if you're not able to fund the club, you're not able to pay players, you have no business being in the league. Let people that are serious about being in the league, let them come in here and let them do this. We can't have players coming to the streets crying and demanding for money. I mean, it's really sad.
The part that pains me most, last week, we brought to the foyer how a particular assistant referee slapped the referee.
Yes.
Now we're talking about players' old salaries and wages. We need positives from this particular league. But you look left, right, and center, and you're not seeing any.
Okay, I think the positives will come.
Obviously,
because right now, we also got in touch with the league management company.
Yes.
And then, like what you said, the CEO himself, when we discussed some time ago, he said, the players' welfare is paramount.
Exactly.
The players between the age of 15, 17, and 40 give their youth everything. When others want to study for medicine or engineering, whatever, this is when they devote their time to football.
And let's not forget the risk involved, because the career could end like this.
So that if they don't have anything by this period, they're not done. And you owe them backlog.
And most of them are breadwinners.
But also, I did speak with the Commissioner for Sports of Imo State, and he said, look, we are owing the new players 2 months, which is November, December. Most of these backlogs are for the old players, because of what is happening for the COVID period. Yeah. So they are doing all they can to see. I think at the end of the day, let us see in the next 2 weeks, it's going to be a win-win.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see. This will make, of course, the Imo State government, like we said, you guys are running this. Nobody tied your hand, but it was what you inherited. But if you do that and it's a burden, the governor and the government should also come in.
During the yes, I respect the fact that, yes, you said you spoke to the commissioner. Yeah. During the COVID period, yes, the old players, was the commissioner paid his own salary?
No. We shall bring it. We shall get it.
I'm not asking you to answer. But that's the question, because as he has his own family to take care of, so these players, so they do so.
And they lace up their boots every weekend, and they are expected to turn up and perform.
Yes, the new players, they are owing them 2 months. Is the commissioner being owed 2 months' salary?
You see, that is
I think we should always turn the table.
No,
And
I think in this instance, I also most commissioners, I think I sympathize with them because the buck does not stop in their desk. You write to them, they write to the government. If the government does not, it is the money that the government releases that they go down. All right. Okay. Now here we go. This is what I'm talking about here because we have online. We're supposed to do a Zoom interview with him, but we say let us do this online. We reached him a minute ago. He is the icon himself. He is Nigerian football because most of the first that Nigeria has achieved is attached to his name. The first Nations Cup that we won. He was the captain of the Green Eagles of Nigeria. The first under 60, the first World Cup that we won. He was assistant coach to Sebastian Botrix, Emasue. When we went to Tunisia to win the Nations Cup for the second time, he was the assistant coach to Clemens Westerhoff. I mean, he has handled the national team and came back with a bronze. What else do you see? The captain of Rangers. He won the Cup Winners' Cup with Rangers in 1977, the first for Rangers. A lot of firsts is attached to the man. We have the man mountain, we have the mathematical, we have every one of them, but we have only one chairman. Let us get in touch with Chairman Christian Chukwu. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, Chris. Hello, Chairman Chukwu. Are you there?
Yeah, hello, Ken. Hello, Ken. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Chairman. How are you?
I'm fine, and you? Happy New Year.
Happy New 2022. How is your health, sir?
I'm fine, and you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Chairman. Okay, let us go straight to it because there are a lot of places to start an interview with you.
Thank God I'm getting better.
Okay, all right, that's good. That is sweet news to our ears because last year you were a bit down health-wise, but to hear that you are back on your feet gladdens our hearts. Okay, let us take this because we would have taken you from the very beginning, and this is a phone interview, so you won't be flowing too much. Take us briefly to 1980. How was it like winning the Nations Cup with you as captain, 6 players from Rangers, 6 players from Shooting Stars, and yes, we won it in 1980 with you as captain. Can you just take us briefly and let Nigerians know how it felt like in the camp of the Green Eagles? Hello, Chairman.
Yeah, Ken, it was a long journey, so 1980. The team started in 1976.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you hearing me?
Yes, very clear, very, very clear.
Yeah. Our team started building up from 1976. You could remember in 1976 we went to Ethiopia where we won bronze medal. And from there we went to Ghana and won another bronze medal. Then came to Lagos, 1980, and won the African Nations Cup. So it was a long build-up of the team. So we understood ourselves, we mastered ourselves, we became brothers and sisters, and everything was fine for us.
Okay. Was there a club rivalry between the Rangers players and the IICC Shooting Stars players in camp?
No. There was no such thing. We were all brothers and friends we were eating together, relating together. There was nothing like ICC or Rangers. What we are after is that we are serving the nation, and we want to make history by winning the Nations Cup.
Okay. Okay, let's go back to 1978. Chairman, all of us thought we were going to beat Uganda. Remember, we were in the same group with Ghana. We played 1-1 with Ghana. I think Shego Odebami scoring and Ghana equalizing. And then we got to that semi-final to play Uganda. Did we underestimate Uganda in Ghana?
No, we did not underestimate them, but football, you plan what you do and another thing comes in. We never underestimated Uganda, so it came to us as a surprise.
We didn't like that surprise, but you guys made up for that in 1980. Let's look at your foray. The first and foremost, before I ask that, how important is your role as captain of the team, both at Rangers, winning that Cup Winners' Cup in 1977, winning the Nations Cup AFCON in 1980? How? Were there people who rebel against you, or were you imposing your captainship on them, or you listening to other players? How was it like being the captain, being the leader of the team?
Yeah, you know that we have been winning both leagues and Challenge Cup.
Yes.
And each time we win the league and the Challenge Cup, we prefer playing the league in the Africa Cup. And ICC, we play the Cup winners, which is the winner of Challenge Cup.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, on 77, we lost the league and won the Challenge Cup. Already, TFC have won the Winners' Cup.
Yes.
So, when we came in, so two of us were progressing. And you could remember Senegal. We played a draw and they thought that they will win us in Senegal and did everything and intimidated. When we got to Senegal, we bring back our mind and first Senegal police of Senegal, and after the match, we saw her. And the president by then, Olusegun Obasanjo, had to send an aircraft to us to bring us back that very day.
Wow.
So that is how we reached the final, and we met 3SC again, and we played the first leg in Lagos. For us to play the second leg in Enugu, that Lagos was not their home. Not playing in Enugu. There was a lot of politics and everything, and Yeredu, I have to carry us all to Kaduna, where we went to semi-final. And of course, you know the result. And one year on penalty, where we came to play Maroon in finals and won the cup. So there was nothing like any misunderstanding anywhere.
Okay. Yemi is here. Yemi want to ask his own question. Yemi, ask Chairman.
Okay, Chairman Christian Chukwu. If my memory serves me right, I know that in the final of that Nations Cup, Shego Odebami scored 2 goals, a brace, and Muda Lawal adding 1. We defeated Algeria 3-0 in that final. If you look at the current setup, and like Ken said, 6 players from ICC and 6 from Rangers. If you look at the current setup of the Eagles, the league as is currently structured, is it capable of producing players that can effectively represent Nigeria at the national team?
You mean our present league?
Yes.
Yeah, the problem we had is that when Roy came into the country, instead of developing our football, Roy went and started using the players we have already developed that are in Europe. So he neglected the home-based players and the league. You know, playing in Europe at times is an opportunity. We have players here who are very good, but who have not seen the opportunity to play in Europe. So Roy did not do what West did. Was contracted. Starhoff was told to build the home-based team. Came to live in Nigeria. Now we are playing home-based players. All the players who were using them to expose them to Europe. And that is what I thought Roy would do. But Roy, he concentrated on a
Hello, Chairman. Hello, Chairman, are you there?
Outside that they go outside Nigeria, maybe from the national team, which is to me, and that is the problem we have, and we have to organize a league, especially that is going to be a national coach, must stay in Nigeria and develop our local players.
Okay. All right. Chairman, let us ask you this question. This is a personal question. You were assistant to Sebastian Broderick's Emaswe in 1985. You were assistant to Clemens Westerhoff, winning when we won in 1984. 1994, sorry. You coach in Lebanon. You coached the Kenyan national team, and you came back to coach the Super Eagles. When you were seconded to Westerhoff, and we have been doing this, what were you supposed to learn? Are you supposed to learn from Westerhoff? When you were saying, okay, fine, to take over for Nigerian coach to take after the foreign coach, are we saying that from 1994 till now, the Nigerian coach have not learned enough to handle the national team, or are we supposed to still be seconded, your colleagues who are coaches, to be seconded to foreign coaches in handling the national team?
Yeah, Ken, I think this question should go to our Nigerian Football Federation because they are the employed coaches. But I can assure you that the present Nigerian Football Federation don't have or don't believe in Nigerian coaches. That's why that but can handle the national team, who knows very well. I'm happy with what Eguavoen is doing now because within a short period Eguavoen was given, you see how he has turned the team around, you know, and shows that Nigerian coaches can perform even better than foreign coaches, but our federation don't have that for the Nigerian coaches.
Okay, we are now in Gara. Do you have you been following the current? Okay, of course you've been following because you just said Eguavoen has done well. Yeah. Do you see us going the distance in Cameroon? Do you see us bringing back the trophy or getting to the final at least? Hello, Chairman. Hello, Chairman. Do you see us? You have watched this current team in Cameroon. Do you see us playing to the final, or even bringing the trophy back to Nigeria, based on what you've seen, you know, by the players and also the handlers of the team?
Yeah, based on what I have seen, I give thanks to Eguavoen. He has turned around the team. We are now playing as Nigeria Eagles, and if we continue this, believe we are to win the cup at the end of the day. You can see everybody is in Super Eagles match now, you can see attacking force, the wings, and so on. Or like when Roy was there, you know, our game have changed completely. So if they continue, like, can assure you, we will get to the final, and if possible, we will win the cup.
All right. Thank you very much, the chairman himself, the only chairman of Nigerian football. Gentlemen, I think that is where we want to say the chairman, thank you very much,
Thank you very much, sir.
you know, for granting us the opportunity to
Thank you,
speak with
Chairman.
you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, Ken. Thank you very much.
All right. And next time, we are going to do it on Zoom or whatever so that Nigeria and the world can see you when you are talking. Thank you, sir.
So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Well done.
Yes, sir. Okay, guys. The lines are open now. You guys can join the chairman. We've finished speaking with the chairman. And if possible, we might still have about 2 or 3 minutes to go to Garoa to get updates. But guys, gentlemen, you heard him. He said Eguavoen has done so well. And it's not different from what your takes.
Absolutely. We said it at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
That the team is playing as a team. And let's see where that takes us.
All right. Let's see where it takes us. We're going to a very short break. When we come back, the lines are still open. You join the discussion. Thank you. All right, welcome back. It is the Channel Sport on Sunday. I was spoken with the chairman himself, Chairman Christian Chukwu. And next, let us see how to get that and get him to the studio or get him through any of the medium, which you can see him when he's speaking. He was done last year, but you can see that he's fit. And the clarity of his voice was in no doubt over there. Taking us back to 1980, 1978, 1976, and all that. Okpe, you're welcome to the show.
Thanks, Ken, for having me. And that was indeed the chairman. But again, when you remember our last defeat before the Cameroonian defeat against the Algerians, it was likely because he called out of retirement.
They were called out.
He was called out of retirement
to the team.
To
I think he partnered Tunde Bamidele or so.
When we lost 2-0 here in Lagos, after that, Keshi took over. But again, he was a mentor to Stephen Okechukwu. So in him, we had that great line of succession in our central midfield.
Okay, your friend is on the line, Olafe. Hello. Hello.
Thank you very much for picking my call.
We always pick your call, oh.
Yeah. If I tell you what is really happened to me, I'm so happy. These people make me happy. Especially, I said that the Super Eagle, the last time I called, I said these people, they will go far. They will still go far. I'm telling you the truth. Because we are now started doing the right thing. And I like what the Chukwu said, the chairman. He said that we don't value, the NFF, we don't value the coach, Nigerian coaches. I don't know why. See what a minor, a little time that the man have. See what is done now. Assuming we have already done the best to appoint this guy, it will be doing more than this. And I thank God very much. And again, please let hear from this gentleman from this guy from the Super Eagles, that the correspondent. Please,
okay. We'll try and get we can't link up with him.
And I want you to use this opportunity to thank the people that helped me when I get fire. My body, I thank God to that. I got fire. And the fire really burned. So all my friends, they really accept me.
Is it like your property or what? Your house or what?
Oh, I have generator problems and it burned. And I thank God that I saved my life. So Super Eagle make me, in fact, to come out in time. I won't tell you what really happened. But I thank God for all my colleagues, all my friends.
Yeah,
especially
we thank God.
That is Obalola and Aliwaris. Thank you.
Thank you, Owo. Thank you very wow. It's okay. You get through. You get a big. I think I wanted to pray you get a bigger generator, but how is that a prayer? I did provide the light, they should restore light. So that you don't have to use a generator to watch the Super Eagles at any point in time. Bele. Okay. You were talking about Chukwu, and then going through all that. and coming in the 76 team in Addis Ababa where we came third. The 70. I know why I asked him that question. That maybe whether we underestimated the Ugandans, because before that match, he was quoted as saying, look, whether they are Uganda or Buganda, we are going to beat them. We were so good. Like I said, Rangers and Shooting Stars playing, they were forced to play the semi-final because then two teams from the same country, when you get to the semi, say you must play yourself. All those policies, I don't understand where it came from. Now we're having
it with UEFA at the starting stage, starting team from the same country.
Two countries
can't meet.
Because we're always taking anything Europe does. From there, we take it over. Because now we can see Man City and Chelsea playing final, Tottenham and Liverpool playing final, Madrid and Madrid.
As our second round, they try and separate teams from same country. It's from maybe quarter, semi-final,
they can start playing. If not Rangers and Shooting would have played the final of 1977 African Cup Winners' Cup. And like he said, I think Shooting made a mistake by going to defend the title. They were the league champions, but they said they choose to defend the Cup Winners' Cup. It would have been Rangers in Cup Winners' Cup and Shooting in Champions Cup instead of Water Corporation. Water Corporation came third in the league. You understand? They came second in the league. So they now went to go and defend. So that is just the thing. That year we would have won both. We had opposition to win both the Cup Winners and the Champions.
The Club of Champions Cup was a very difficult cup for Nigerian clubs.
Yes.
Rangers 75 when everybody thought they would do it. And got the...
That was Rangers.
They lost at home. Yes, Afia
of Guinea. That was against Hafia.
From 75 to 84. Yeah. And when people thought, oh, the humidity, the heat will make it very difficult for the Egyptians. Zamalek came here, stunned us, went there.
And beat our dear teams.
It's a difficult tournament. And that is why till date we've been winning just twice.
The same teams that won it, like what he's saying here. Okay, let's go to Abuja. We have Edward on the line. Hello, Edward. Edward, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah. Go on. Yeah.
Really, I am good. I'm doing fine. Okay. I want to say hello to all of you in the studio there.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Just listening to Christian Chukwu, chairman, we'll call him.
Yeah.
I want to make some points. He has really touched on all we want to hear concerning the Super Eagles. But one point I want to make is, he's not yet Uhuru. He's not yet Uhuru. Yeah. We really, the coaches really need to do some more job to get us to the level of the Atlanta period. I want to make reference to the caliber of players we had within that period. You can bear witness of people like Emmanuel Amunike, the Bull, Tinidi George, and all the rest. And the young man in the studio made a very intelligent point. You said Rangers and ICC Shooting Stars. You see, within this period, the Nigerian Football Association doesn't mind where the player is coming from. So what it means is, if we are getting all the Rangers players or the IICC players or Kano Pillars to do us proud and give us the trophy, we go ahead and use these players. Not the quota system or whom do you know in Super Eagles or NFA. Because I remember one interview that was granted to Westerhoff there, when he said that Christian Chukwu was the one giving him the materials he was using, because he knew Christian Chukwu was on ground and he knew this guy. So let's not yet start singing victory song yet until we are able to see the caliber of players we had within the Atlanta and 1984 World Cup or thereabout. So please, let the coaches do more jobs.
Do more jobs. All right. Thank you very much, Edward.
Thank you very much.
I think it's on point. We just played 2 matches.
But Ken, I think again we have to be fair to this group of players. The 94 score we're talking of, most of these guys starting from 83. So they are like over a 10-year period to actually play in that team. So, but this is a team where we've complain about stagnancy, sort of dormancy, where you are used to the same set of faces, whether they improve or not. Now we have a new coach who has brought in a new style, with virtually the same set of players. So I think we should, as the late Amadou said, the harder they come, the easier they fall. They play 2 matches, we have 100% results. So I think so far so good.
So I understand what Edward in Abuja is trying to say. He's just trying to caution everybody with respect to the fact that we should not get carried away.
Exactly. I think that is expression, not get carried away.
The reward for a good job is more, the reward for good work is more work. So the coaches should not rest on their we're not there yet, like he said, and everybody knows, until we win the cup. So, and I love Eguavoen's spirit. I love what he has said. They will take every game like a final and approach every game with all the necessary attention to details that they should give to it. But I think from the 2 games we have seen so far, they've done so well.
And I think what for those of us who are following, and most Nigerians, because of social media, now you see exactly what is happening in camp. The camaraderie, the singing, the dancing, eating everything.
You see, when you win your first game in a tournament, he has a way of, how do I put it, doing a lot to your psyche. And you are able to build on that. If they had lost that match against Egypt, I can imagine what the headlines will have been. And the game against Sudan will have been a lot more difficult.
Okay.
You saw what happened to the Pharaohs yesterday.
Let's go to Benue. Alex, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah. Go on.
My complaint is good.
Okay.
I give it to Eguavoen because, Eguavoen played under Western. So if you watch the present Super Eagles under Eguavoen playing, you will see exactly what Western taught them in the 1992 to 1994.
Okay.
They are using 2 flanks wingers. Recently coaches have stopped using 2 flank wingers. They use just one. But Eguavoen is using both right flank and left flank. You see the days of Finidi George and Amuniti. Now, my biggest problem and fear is our goalkeeper. If you watch very well, Okoye has 4 area targets.
I think it was just on one occasion where he dropped the ball and reacted.
And give it out quickly.
Okay.
It's not really on one occasion. Okay. If you watch our first game, he doesn't come out to pick those area balls.
Okay.
He doesn't come out to pick those area balls. I'm not saying he's bad, but I'm saying he needs to build that confidence.
To improve more on that, on that particular area of tackling area ball. Okay.
But my biggest question now, presenter, I want you to answer me. I want you to answer me now. If you go about not well now, what will happen to the point they are bringing? We Nigerians will not allow that man to take a plane from Portugal to Nigeria. If they go on success what we want from the Super Eagles, we will not need a foreign coach again, please.
Alex, I think...
on the strength of what Amaju said in this interview before the competition, he said, peradventure, Eguavoen wins the Nations Cup, the AFCON. Pesero becomes the technical director, while Eguavoen becomes the technical advisor. But if he does not win, but again, it's nothing. See, there was this case, I think early 90s, where Francisco Maturana, was contracted to handle Real Madrid. But the interim manager was doing well. So the board just felt, there is no need for him to leave. So they wanted to even pay Maturana. And Maturana said, no, that ethically is not right, that he would just forgo the job and he moved on.
I just remember Francisco Maturana, very colorful character, the coach of the Colombian team. En route to US 94, Colombia had that friendly match against AC Milan, and they won 2-1. And he said they can win the World Cup because they are beating the best team in the world. That tells you how club football area. Let's take James. Hello, James.
Hello.
Hello, James. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, James. Go on, go on.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you for your program.
Thank you.
It appears NFF. It appears NFF wants color white too much. Otherwise, we have so many local coaches here. How many is there? Eguavoen, there's so many of them out there. Why do they have to go and bring the stereo or whatever they call it?
Okay. So let's see. He has said it. They said even the NFF president did. Okay, go on.
It's very unfortunate, and the good work Eguavoen has started. Shortly after the Cup of Nations, what happened? They decided to come and take over, and then they want to come and kill our football completely. We have this thing. If Shehata can perform in Egypt, there are so many other local coaches that can perform in Nigeria.
Shehata.
You see, so these people, they can't tell us the white like us more than ourselves. So why do they go and begin to pay this fabulous money?
Okay. Let Eguavoen win this first. And like I said, I want us to play Cameroon in the final. I don't know. I just want 2000 kept reverberating on my head.
You want a pound of flesh?
With no blood spilled.
Okay.
You remember last week we were saying that when I was asked, I asked Babafemi Raji that playing Egypt first, now playing them last. I think it was better we play them first.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
But we never really had problem with the Egyptians when it comes to AFCON. We've never really, save for the last meeting when we lost 3-1 in our opening match. We've always been ahead.
In our last 5 meetings, both official and friendly, we've beaten them just once.
No, I said AFCON.
AFCON. Okay. But if you also look at it, the Egyptians, I think the last time they lost any group stage match in the AFCON
was a very long time ago.
No, we beat them in 1980. We beat them in 1990.
In 1980, were you know who's to
in 1990, we're in Algeria. We beat them.
Okay, 1990 in Algeria. Which team did we have that issue with in 84? Was it Egypt?
No, we beat them.
There was a North African team that match, they protested, they didn't end the match. I think it was Egypt or Algeria. I think it was Egypt. I'm trying to remember. That was an 84 team, the Nigbede-led team, where Patrick Okala was in goal, yes.
No, I know we had that problem, I think 78 with the Tunisians, where we equalized, they protested, and it was awarded to us 2-0. But I can't remember 84. But we had that same thing in 78.
Was it in 78?
Yeah, the Tunisians.
No, I think that should be 84.
No, we didn't play Tunisia in 84. Yeah, 78, okay. We did AFCON. I think we equalized, they protested, and it was awarded to the Eagles. That was how we got our bronze.
All right. The match that clearly come to my mind at 2 matches, the one we lost to Uganda, and that 1-1 draw we had with Ghana in the opening match. Because we're together with them. There was a Kumasi team and then the Accra team, and that was the team. I think that was the Ghana-Nigeria rivalry at that point in time.
But they always beat us. They always beat us.
All right, we're going home.
Well, yeah, okay. So far we've been having a roller coaster of a journey, but we could come against a rough patch. The dressing room should be locked out against any external interference.
Interference. Yeah. I love that.
I think they should just keep their focus and keep doing what they know how to do best, making them Nigeria proud. And for the Nigerians that have been supporting them now, like when like Okwe just said, if we run into any bad patch, keep supporting the team.
Keep supporting the team. Ernesto Okonkwo did say, and that is how we are closing the show, said if you support after a goal is scored, after they win, you're only reacting to an impulse. But when you support and cheer them before they win, then you are making it happen. Whether they win or lose, they've done well. They are the Nigerian team. Let's stick with them. I'm Ken Ochonogo. Have a blessed Sunday. That line.